Gemini, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with your reading for the first half of May. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the energy and see what it is that needs to come through. Starting off with this deck by Pretty Spirits. This one's called the Truth Deck, the Soulmate Edition. Of course, all the links will be listed down below in the description box. General as always, guys, so please take from it what makes sense for you personally and release the rest. All right, so Gemini, let's go ahead and take a look and see what needs to come through. Ooh, we're starting off with smothering. Now, if you feel like someone's kind of closing you in, or you feel like somebody's just not giving you enough freedom, either in a relationship, this doesn't just have to be focused strictly on a romantic connection. So take that how it makes sense. The number 10 could also mean something for some of you. Of course, in tarot, that can represent something that is completing. So if, let's just say, you got out of a relationship where you felt smothered, hopefully that's a cycle that's phasing out. Let's grab a couple more cards and see what else needs to come through for Gemini. We have show affection. These two together, it kind of reminds me of somebody who's showing too much affection, if that makes sense, where you feel like you just can't handle it. Maybe you're not ready for the intensity of that type of connection. And bottom of the deck, look at what's coming through. We have runner. If you relate to this for yourself, Gemini, then you might be dealing with a person that's pouring it on a little too thick, if that makes sense. And maybe you're just not ready again for that type of intense connection with this person. You know, so you could be the runner here, but if the tables are turned and if you're dealing with somebody who's not ready for that, then of course take it that way. But that's how it's coming through so far. So let's clarify this. I'll be pulling from my Celestial Cosmos Tarot. 10, 3, and 14 could be significant numbers. All right, so what's up with this? What is up? Who's feeling smothered here? Interesting, we've got the Fool showing up in the reverse. Now, some of you guys could be dealing with Aquarius. You could have Aquarius in your chart as well. So in the reverse, it does indicate somebody who's being naive or immature. They could be coming through as the careless partner here in this relationship, or they've done something that is construed as careless. We do have the Emperor, okay, showing up, representing the Divine Masculine, of course. So it could be either, this could be interpreted as either a Divine Masculine who's feeling like they're being smothered, maybe by a person that they're interacting with, you know, Divine Feminine perhaps. It could also be the masculine who's coming through as the runner here. Three of Swords, wow. Okay, so just based off of what I'm seeing here, especially with the masculine represented by that Emperor card, it could have been a masculine that ended up hurting the feminine. There could have been third parties here, but it is representing the grief and the loss of the foundation of the relationship, the separation. A painful experience here. If someone's running, they're not wanting to stick around. Yeah, you could also be dealing with Pisces. So we've got the Moon, illusion, deception. Somebody's not coming forward with the truth here. Somebody's keeping things hidden. So there are some shadows coming through as a result of that Moon energy, and it seems to be coming from a masculine. We have the Eight of Wands. So this, of course, representing fast-paced movement. It could have been, too, that things were going way too fast for this person, and they maybe want to slow things up, but rather than just saying that or communicating that, they tend to maybe push away or, again, just run away from the relationship. That's interesting the way that's coming through, guys. 7 of Swords. Okay, so we've got a couple cards here talking about some sort of deception, something manipulative that might have happened. It doesn't necessarily have to be infidelity, although that's hard to ignore. So Divine Feminine, if you relate to this, you might have been in a situation where you were cheated on, or a masculine betrayed you somehow. They could have been immature, again, careless. They were a bit clueless as to what it is or was that you need in a partnership. Wow. And we've got the 4 of Pentacles. So somebody's the jealous type. Somebody could also be a very controlling partner. The Emperor can sometimes come through in that way, wanting to take control of a situation, wanting to have the last word, perhaps. But I'm ultimately feeling here, whether it's the masculine or the feminine, whoever resonates with this storyline, there could have been other people in the picture. It could have been cheating. It could have been infidelity, third-party situation, and all that. But there's some conflict that's representing itself here. And look at that. We have the Empress coming through now. So this represents the 2 of you as a couple, but something occurred here to create either a breakup, a separation, and possibly infidelity is what's presenting itself here. And part of that infidelity or unfaithfulness in the partnership had to do with either of you unable to commit fully to the relationship. Just the way the Emperor presented itself first, I feel it could be the masculine who's coming through as a runner. And maybe Divine Feminine, if you relate to this, you could be the chaser here, okay? And bottom of the deck, we do have the Magician. This is a Gemini reading, and part of the energy of the Magician is Gemini and Virgo as well. We have Aries coming through. We've got Taurus representing the Divine Feminine, the Empress. So this is about a positive outcome initially, and to be able to manifest good things in this relationship, or certainly in your life. That is a part of what it is that you're focused on, Gemini, but I have a feeling there's some blockages towards making that happen. Okay, so let's see what else we can learn here. Let's go ahead and grab some additional messages. I'll be pulling from the Untold Messages of the Heart. This one's by AQUAMOONLIGHT for Gemini. So, broken heart, heartbreak, painful separation, perhaps. Ooh, no strings. I want you close to me, but I'm not ready for a commitment. Do you see that? It's pretty much coming through in the way these cards presented itself. You know, the Moon is somebody who's hiding things, hiding the fact that maybe they're not ready for commitment. And, you know, the deception, the betrayal, somebody who's feeling smothered, not ready to really give their all in a partnership, somebody who's coming through as the runner. They don't want any attachments, you know, no strings attached. That's an issue. Fear. I want this so badly, but I'm afraid of getting hurt, so I self-sabotage. And that is why they're not ready to give their all. That is why they don't really want to commit, because they don't want to get hurt. But they, you know, they could have their own issues here. Man. Let's grab one more. So that could have ultimately why they hurt you, because they tend to self-sabotage. We have broken. The damage has already been done, and I don't know how to pick the pieces up. So you could have actually met this person who is coming through as broken. Not that it's your job to fix them, but they are coming through in this reading to let you know that they could have been damaged going into the relationship. They have all of these fears and apprehensions, and that's what's preventing them from committing fully to you and the relationship. So let's go ahead and see what else we can find out for Gemini. I'll be pulling from my Tarot Teacher. This is the revised edition. So that's what we're seeing. No strings attached. They don't want to commit. That's why they probably did what they did. Look at this. We've got the Queen of Swords. That is followed by the Seven of Swords. Do you see these cards? We're seeing the Empress again representing the feminine. So in that first batch of cards, we saw the masculine coming through first, but the Empress did show up. And now, Divine Feminine, you're coming through very strongly in this next section of this reading. You couple that up with the Queen of Swords, and this is an indication that a Divine Feminine cut out this masculine because of their inability to commit, because of what they were doing, which is this Seven of Swords, where they were doing something manipulative, hiding things behind your back, cheating, lying, you name it, it's all there. And then look at this. Look at all these swords coming in. The Six of Swords, of course, representing the need for healing. Healing this. Healing that broken heart. Healing that pain, because it's a lot to deal with. So I really do feel at this point we have a feminine who's moving on, transitioning away from this experience. Whoa. And you're going through your own awakening, Divine Feminine. But what this can represent too is maybe this masculine comes back, not necessarily for a reconciliation, although that could be the case for some, but this can also be the need for forgiveness because they might be struggling to move on themselves. It's perhaps the inability to move on unless you either forgive them for what they've done or they're able to find some sense of closure here. So somebody, and I kind of feel it, that it's a Divine Masculine who wants to make amends here. Somebody's going to resurface here. Okay, next message, more swords. This, first of all, fives in tarot, it's already a challenging energy. So Five of Swords in the upright, it's defeat. It is somebody who decided to walk away from a situation, and it's coming through as the Divine Feminine here. Too many conflicts, too many things that were challenging the partnership, and we clearly see why. So maybe at this point, Divine Feminine, you're focusing on bringing in your own abundance in your life. That includes love, of course. This is you proving to yourself and perhaps to this masculine that hurt you that you're able to make it on your own. You're able to stand on your own 2 feet. Look at these cards. Okay, so we've got the Ace of Pentacles, Hangman, Ace of Swords, followed by the Two of Cups. So I'm feeling for my feminines who relate to this reading, and obviously it's not going to resonate for everybody, but I feel that you have found stability and security in your own life through your own doing, through your own choices that you created for yourself by letting go of someone and a situation that was weighing you down. So you decided through your own clarity, and that's what that Ace of Swords represents, that you needed to cut someone out. They literally are coming through as dead weight. And what you're looking for here at this point, Divine Feminine, is true love. And that's what that Two of Cups represents. And you will find it. You will find someone who is more compatible for you, somebody that has the capability to love you and only you and not get you mixed up in third-party drama or any drama of any sort. This is somebody who will restore balance back into your life. There could be future marriages for some of you. Look at the next card. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. So finances looking pretty good for the feminines, I feel. So career-wise, work environment. This can represent maybe unexpected money that's coming your way. It certainly can represent financial security, but it's also a really nice card to come through to bring you stability in your love life as well. So I feel for my divine feminines who have endured a partnership where it was just so incredibly challenging, that you're on a much better path at this point. And what we did see in that first half could be a divine masculine who just felt like they were being smothered in the relationship and they couldn't handle it and possibly running away from it. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what else is coming through here for you, Gemini. One last batch of cards. This is the 5D Love Messages deck. This one's by Calico Moon. All right, let's see what else. I wish I knew how you felt about me. So this kind of, for me, comes through for those of you who haven't interacted or spoken in a while. And especially Divine Feminine, if you cut out a Divine Masculine from your life, they're here wondering, you know, if you even think about them at this point, how do you feel about this whole situation? And for some of you, of course, maybe you're still really upset with this individual because of how things played out. But this is an indication that you do cross their mind. The next card, my feelings for you are intense. But the way we've seen it in this reading, they couldn't handle that intensity at one point in time. Maybe now that they've had the chance to look back on that, they're realizing just how special a connection it actually was. But maybe at this point, it's too late to go back. Let's grab one more. You inspire me to be the best version of myself. So even though you guys might not end up together or get back together in this lifetime, you still made a very positive impact on this person. And maybe that goes both ways. So there's something about the experience that might inspire you to live your life in a particular manner at this point. Okay, so let's see what else we can find out. Pulling from the TANIELU Tarot deck. So you made an impact. We do see that here. You inspire them somehow. Look at this. We have some repeat messages coming through. 10 of Pentacles again. And maybe part of that inspiration is you've inspired this person to do better for themselves. Maybe career-wise. Maybe they're actually doing something to improve the quality of their life. And maybe it starts with their finances. It could start with doing something to improve their quality of life. And maybe it starts with money. Especially if you guys were bickering about money, disagreeing about that, or the lack of it, whatever that might represent. But as I've mentioned, the 10 of Pentacles could also be a very positive card of stability when it comes to a romantic partnership. But it could also be telling you here, Gemini, that even though it didn't work out with one person, it can work out with somebody else in such an incredible way, because this can also represent a perfect match for you. So maybe at this point, you're focused either on somebody else, you've moved on to a better relationship, and even though you might have come across a partnership that did not work out, this is still a blessing here. We've got the Judgment card coming through again. So this is telling us that maybe you've gone through your own awakening, that you have gone through your own rebirth in order to get to where you are today. You know, what needed to fall away, fell away. We've got the Death card coming through. What came to an end needed to come to an end. But this is a transition. This is a metamorphosis card as well. So a transformation needed to happen in your life in order to get you to where you are right now as you're watching this. 4 of Wands. Okay, so some of you might be connecting with a twin flame. Okay. We do have the Magician and Magician representing Gemini as well as Virgo. We've seen that. This, of course, can also represent our 1111 number or time. So pay attention to that if you're seeing that, Gemini. There's something here as far as, for some of you anyway, it could represent a reunion of some sort. The Judgment card can represent that as well. Part of that reunion could be between twin flames who are in separation, and maybe one twin needed to learn more lessons and to make amends and to fix things. But part of that interpretation too could be the desire to come back together. That's for some. It's up to you whether or not you entertain that, of course. But it's clearly coming through as the feminine setting up boundaries. You know, my feminines, you're not going to just allow someone to return without really assessing if they even deserve to come back. You cut them out for a reason. You've grown too much. You have gained way too much clarity for you to be looking at this thing with rose-colored glasses. You know, you are definitely on the right path as far as what it is that you want in your life. And you're not going to allow just anybody into your life that doesn't add to it or complement it, you know? Look at this. We've got the Ten of Cups. That is followed by the Empress once again. So the Divine Feminine really is coming through very strongly for this Gemini reading. And you're coming through as somebody who knows what it is that you want to be able to create in this lifetime. You're not messing around. You want to be able to spend that time and build that time with somebody that's worthy of your time. And you can find it. I mean, obviously, Ten of Cups represents the ultimate expression of happiness in a relationship, fulfillment, a dream that can manifest for you in your love life. And then we have the Ace of Wands. So there's all of these energies coming through that represents growth and new beginnings. And not to say that the masculine can't have that as well. They can. You know, both the masculine and the feminine can have a fresh start here. But there's definitely lessons along the way that needed to be learned. And what we do see with that Judgment card is somebody wants to return to fix the damage that they created back then. That is what we're seeing. So there's a lot of potential here for you, Gemini, as to the direction that you're going. And who knows, maybe the first half of May, you might hear from somebody that you haven't heard from in a very long time. And it could be something as simple as, I'm sorry for what I've done. Please forgive me for what I've done. And that could be the only thing that they need. That might ultimately be the thing that gives you both closure so that you can move on and find happiness. All right, so I will leave that there, Gemini. Whatever part of this made sense for you, I do hope that it helps offer you some guidance that's needed at this time. And if you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box, as well as the link to all of the decks that you see here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.
We'll be right back.